Today we're going to look at a basic armbar drill and kind of transition when they pull their arm out to a triangle and they defend the triangle to omoplata and back to a triangle for the finish. Okay, so for our armbar drill, we're going to go ahead and skip the posture break. Go ahead and my partner's going to put his elbows on my ribs and kind of just give me his hands. Now he's going to try to stay in a strong base. Kind of what happens at first is people want to fall over. Yeah, they start falling over. So just kind of hold a good base. You're not resisting, but you're not falling over. Okay, so I'm gonna take my arm over both arms and kind of just hook the elbow over the wrist. The same side arm, same side foot goes in the hip, and I wanna make sure I pinch my knee kind of behind that shoulder, boom. This hand under the leg, and as I go into the leg, I use the inside of my thigh, my foot, and my arm to pull myself really close to his knee. This foot's trying to kick him in the shoulder, close around his face, and the back of my knee grabs his neck. There's my arm bar. To go back to guard, hand out, keep tension on my hamstring, open up and pull myself back to guard. Go the other way, arm over, hand under, foot and hip, and keep my knee pinched. Kick my heel, push to the other shoulder. Sometimes I even move my foot offline and use that to make a little angle. Close shave around the face, knee down. One thing I'm saying close shave because I don't want to open up really big. That kind of gives him ways to stop and block my arm bar. So I'm gonna open my foot up and close shave around, and then I re-bite my hamstring on his neck. Hand comes out, engage my hamstring to keep his posture down, open up, pull myself back to the middle. Now, if the next couple reps, I'm just gonna kind of go through maybe one each side and just kind of not even talk about it, almost full speed, but this is a controlling armbar, and I can kind of go through it like this, as long as I'm keeping tension, my hips up. You know, it's a slow, controlled armbar. So I'm over, foot in the hip. All right, so the first kind of transition we're gonna make is when our opponent and our partner do the right thing. They stack in and they pull their elbow out. So my opponent does the right thing to defend the armbar, right? He kind of posts up, stacks into me, and what he's gonna look to do is wiggle his elbow out that I'm attacking. As he wiggles his elbow out, I'm gonna open up. The same thing we done a second ago where we don't kind of open our leg up too wide. I'm gonna open my leg up, close shave, and I'm gonna bring his face back into me. From here, my arm comes out, and I kind of wiggle to make the space. Hips up, past the arm. Arm over. I like to go under. That's kind of my hand on. I can really start looking for things here, but I use this kind of to help pull. Hand goes to the shin, foot comes off. I don't unhook my feet until I close this circle off. Close it off, foot goes into the hip, and now I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna pull this as I make an angle. Curl my toes back, lock over my ankle, and kind of the last point, I wanna turn my foot offline to finish my triangle. Okay, so now we're gonna go through the whole drill, get all the way to the triangle finish, and my partner's gonna defend properly. He defends properly, we're gonna transition to omoplata. So I went through the drill, and now my partner goes to defend. As he defends, I help guide his hand, and I like to reach for my foot. I wanna put my foot between me and him, laces on his face so I can push him away as I pull. Sometimes my partners will grab that foot, that leg, and that's fine. All I wanna do is make sure that as I push, I kick it really big. As far as I can kick it out, that momentum helps sit me up, and I'm immediately switching to my inside hip and getting my feet out on a hurdler stretch. Now, when my opponent defends here, a couple options that I have, and I really, really like it. I like going kind of steering wheel Kimura, and all I'm gonna do is turn my top knee down. I'm pushing at the hip. I'm gonna grab the elbow. I'm just pulling to me and kind of twisting that wrist up, but it's really making sure this is good connection. That's a cool little one. And we can also look at arm locks from here, arm crunches. But nonetheless, I just want to make sure I place hold this here. And I've even seen guys push the face and bring their foot over, and I've got good mobility, but I really, really like grabbing. It's a lot less effort, and I put my lace on his face. Pull my foot way out, use that momentum to shift to that inside hip. And now this is a really tight one. And it's gonna be different, depending on your opponent's and your partner's shoulder mobility. Andre's already about to tap. The first part of the mechanics is I drop my knee down, and the second part is my hip up. Okay, and that's about as gentle as I can be on my buddy. But I really like, I can go to the waist, I can pull the elbow. And all that is putting my forearm across his forearm and finding his wrist. But I really want to make sure I get across the waistline. He's going to want to roll, but our finish is just knee down, hip up. Okay, so we're going to look at the entire drill again, and this time we add kind of the finishing touches. Sometimes when I try to go Omoplata, guys are strong, so they posture up really hard, and I just need to be ready to keep tension on my hamstring and get back to triangle, and that'll be the finish, and then we'll show the whole drill. So right there. I want to open my foot back and I clamp it, boom, down on his shoulders. It lifts my hips up. And again, I'm going to scoop the face and bring it right back to me. Now this is a slightly different triangle. It's called a bolt lock triangle. So I'm going to scoop his face until I can lock over my ankle right where it's at. Boom. Turn my knees out. Now this triangle is a slightly different finish. All I'm going to do is think about compressing my knees together for a good clean finish. Okay, so I think the best ways to work through that drill, I would definitely learn each individual section, kind of by themselves, and then piece it together. While you're drilling it, if you're working on, say, move 3 of the chain, and they don't defend the armbar properly, then say, hey, I've got the armbar. They tap and they say, okay, I need you to pull your elbow out. So kind of help guide your partners through. But I would make sure I wouldn't pass up an armbar for the triangle. They have to do the correct thing and defend. So you're kind of working on both sides of the drill. That's the best way to drill it. Okay, so I appreciate you guys watching. If you liked it, of course, give us a like, give us a share, comment if you have any questions below, and go try it on the mats.